about my bipolar disorder. There are a few different types of bipolar disorders. The most common are bipolar 1, bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 has severe manic episodes and depression episodes, and bipolar 2 has the milder episodes. I myself suffer from bipolar 1, and I have since my early 20s. I don't really think often about being bipolar. It's just something that's been in my life for a really long time. In fact, I have to keep notes of my symptoms, something that I started doing the past 2 years. I didn't do earlier in life. I'm kind of glad I do now. My biggest resource when entering a manic or depressive episode is loved ones. They will notice it before I notice it, unless I go back and read my notes after a certain period of time to see if I'm on track or off track. Sometimes these episodes will happen several times a day. I can bounce from depressive to manic in one day, and sometimes it can last weeks and sometimes months. The worst I've had was 4 or 5 months of severe depression. Manic has lasted a lot longer. Another thing that adds to my bipolar is I can hear voices in my head. I'm so lucky that these voices are not self-harming voices, but I can spend most of my day in conversations with these voices in my head. Most days by mid-afternoon, I'm completely exhausted from hearing these voices talk. For the longest period of time, it could be the same voice that I hear over and over again, or sometimes I go in episodes where they change a lot. It's much more calmer when they're the same voice because I'm not walking around going, what's going on? I hear the voice and I just try to tune it out and carry on with life. When the conversations change, that makes a lot of work on my part, especially when I'm out in public or doing something with groups of people, having to wonder if someone's saying hi to me or not hi to me, or if it's a voice echoing. These voices also are triggers in the middle of the night. I will hear old men talking, having conversations, children, babies in the wall, trying to get them out. Different things happen at different times. I sometimes also suffer from seeing people that aren't there. They don't stay long. They're more like shadows or entering rooms and walking across and they're gone. I don't see them fade. I don't see them appear. I just glance and they're there. That's a hard one for me too. Being on the bipolar meds and psychosis medication really calms the voices and the appearance of these people. Mania, when I am in mania, they will trigger the psychosis stages worse than the depressive stages. These are big ones for me. During mania, I separate myself from reality and I live in the bubble I mentioned before. It's a very euphoric world. It goes days and hours and I'll read my notes and try to rebalance myself and bring me back on track, because when you're in euphoria, you are a high. You believe everything you're going to do, you're going to succeed at. You are living on top of the world. Everything is amazing. Anything you have a passion about becomes a passion around everyone around you because you don't stop talking about anything when you're euphoric. These stories, during my filming of this course of this year, as I have planned to do, you will see the euphoric and the depressive stages of my phases of my life. And also, these videos will help me track myself as well, so I can also better myself and keep up with the medical care I'm receiving. Common side effects of bipolar. Mine are excessive shopping. If I am in a manic episode and I need ribbon, I will spend $400 on ribbon to make sure I have it in every color, every size, every character, every wired, non-wired purpose as possible. The same goes for shoes. I will buy shoes in several colors and t-shirts in 4 different colors. It's not uncommon for me when I am shopping to get 10, 11 packages a day thrown at my door by the mail person. I'm sure I'm not loved by a lot of postal people. I'm so sorry. It's been a while since I've been in that phase. I've been very careful lately, so that's been wonderful. Of course, we touched on euphoria in the last clip. The highs are amazing. On top of the world, can do anything. I don't care if it's exercising or playing Monopoly or starting a business. I've done amazing with the things I've done, but I've also can see where that can get carried away and excessive for family members who are watching me. Also, are decreased needs of sleep or increased needs of sleep. When I am manic, I don't sleep at all. I am up all night, I'm up all day, I'm to the point where I exhaust myself until I pass out. Can be a blessing, can be a curse, because when I'm in the depressive phases, I'm in bed at 16, 18 hours a day. And that's a really hard phase to be in, but you don't realize it at the time. Also, distractions. I will be in the middle of a conversation and I will just lose my mind completely. And it's really hurtful because usually the person I'm with, I'll say, oops, I forgot it. And they'll say, no, you didn't. You just don't want to say it. No, I really seriously have lost the train of thought. And I also interrupt a lot of people. They'll be talking because once the idea is there, if I don't blurt it out or say it, it's not to be rude. I just have to get it out and then I'm done with it and I'm back to your conversation. Also, heightened sexual fantasies are a huge bipolar risk. The desires are great, especially in the manic. You're high, you are not cautious who you're with, what you're doing. You have to be very self-controlled. As the journey goes along this year, I am willing to be open to talk about different things that I have done and fun adventures and stuff I have, but I have had to work very hard during manic episodes to control that. I am very blessed. I've been in relationships. I've been able to be aware. I've been able to calm down, but it's been a very self-controlled thing, and I can see how a lot of people with bipolar can't fight those urges or resist those and cause trouble for themselves. Also, weight loss and weight gain. I've been 115 pounds, I've been 160 pounds. You will also follow me on the journey of watching the medicine make me gain weight, watch me lose weight, working with a nutritionist. A bunch of things will happen. The past 2 years I've been at my highest weight gain, which has been really hard for me, but I've also had a lot of depressive phases, which has kept me bedridden and not out exercising like I should. A common thing for people with bipolar is suicide. The tendencies are there, and that's with me having the voices. They're constantly monitoring me to make sure they aren't self-harming. Suicide is a horrible thing. I've been lucky not to have self-harmed myself. But I do encourage everyone to reach out. You have any problems with suicide or thoughts, please go talk to someone. I have been in lots of therapy groups and I have seen what this does to people, and to reach out it's important. You've got to keep on track, and I know it's so hard when you're at your lowest, but suicide is a very, very common side effect of bipolar, and sometimes it goes unnoticed until it's too late. Things that bipolar has caused, or repercussions and pros and cons of how it has caused my life. My first is probably my divorce. I feel horrible about that. I'm so blessed that he is my best friend and we are like amazing parents, but I'm pretty sure the mood swings of just not my divorce or in relationships in general for anyone suffering from bipolar is that they don't know how to adapt or change to the highs and lows of your thing or your illness, because they are trying to live their lives too, and they're trying so hard to balance you and them and the reality of world and what we're responsible for. It's very hard to maintain a relationship being bipolar. Almost all my relationships are failures because of my extreme highs and my extreme lows. So that is a huge repercussions to being bipolar. My many jobs. I start a business, I work at this, I do this and this. I am blessed the job I have now has me on leave because I would like to go back to it soon. Because you're in a manic high, you get these wonderful ideas, but then that may last a year, it may last 6 months, it lasts 2 years. I have done multi-level marketing, I've opened businesses, I've sold business, I've done so many different things that the manic highs have been a plus, but the cons are I wish I could maintain a hobby, whether it's making cakes or making hair bows or whatever. I get so into it and I learn so much about it and just dive into it. And then once I do it, I'm at peace with it and I'm on to moving to the next project. It's kind of like you're a jack of many trades, but the master of none. Also, the Manic Pros has been my websites. I have several different websites, different domains they're registered that I have not linked to anything yet, in the hopes of adding something more to it or keeping them all together. My biggest website is linamie.com. I have had for years. Every year I redo the website. I strip it down. I've done my Chinese fortunes for the years. I've done blogs for the years. I've done a manic episode where I shouldn't have outed people out in the years. This year's is focused on my mental disorder and you living the documentary with me on highs, lows, and even the silly stuff I do day to day that's not really important to a lot of people, but for you to understand my life more. In my final closing of Amie with Bipolar, I would like to say no matter what your disorder is, mental or physical or what, you are not alone. This journey is not just about watching me be bipolar, but maybe something you're doing as well, or something you can relate to in the journey as well. And when you see my highs and lows, or you may be a major depressive, or you may have other things that you can relate to, and I want you to be part of that journey and even share it. Reach out to me. My email's on the website. I'd love to talk to you. I love talking. I talk to people a day. It's so much fun. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me alive. But thank you for all the positive messages I do receive to the fans that are watching. Also, watch your warning signs. Not even if, like I said, if it is bipolar you think or may be suffering from, or a family or a loved one, or any disorder. Watch your warning signs. Talk to a healthcare medical professional. Don't be ashamed when you go into your yearly checkup to say, you know, I did cry, or I did this, you know, well, it was just one time, or, you know, don't block out things that are real. And don't count them up as, chalk them to the side as little incidences that happen. Be knowledgeable of what you've got, and reach out. I mean, it could be a mild situation, but it could be something that could help you better your personal life. I know when I'm medicated, my family appreciates it so much. I'm on point, everything gets done. And when I'm depressive, they rally, they pull together, and they get me through. So get a support person. This is a big one. Having the wrong support system will crush you. I have been in a relationship where it was just horrible for a year. It was just miserable. I've also been in relationships for a year that was amazing. I've also been in relationships for years, married, that was amazing. You just have to find the right support person that will listen to you, that won't leave you in a depressed state for many days, that will help you get up and accept the fact that you're depressed and sad, but will make you get out of bed and get to the doctor and make sure that you are where you need to be so you do not self-harm yourself. I want to thank you all for watching all these little silly videos that I put out, all the silly videos that I plan to keep putting out, and reach out. And like I said, the website has a blog, a link to my fun, crazy LGBTQ clothing line. It's going to have links to much more things coming up. Very blessed for all of you, and thanks for watching. Bye.